number 3. I have been listening to the submissions of my learned colleagues, and I will try not to repeat any of them except where absolutely necessary. I start by referring to Article 86 of the Constitution. 86 provides for voting, and I particularly refer to 86A. The method, the voting method, must be simple, accurate, verifiable, secure, accountable, and transparent. I also read out to the court Section 44 of the Elections Act, which provides for the use of technology. How this has evolved is a matter that has been addressed by my learned friends and is well known to the court, particularly this court that has rendered decisions in the same regard. Section 44 of the Elections Act provides that the use of technology in an election should be an integrated electronic electoral system that enables biometric voter registration, electronic voter identification, and electronic transmission of results. Section 39 of the Elections Act provides for the determination of the declaration of presidential results. And in this regard, it provides at 1C, for the purposes of a presidential election, the Commission shall A. Electronically transmit and physically deliver the tabulated results of an election for the President from a polling station in the constituency tallying center and to the national tallying center. Regulation 14 of the Elections Technology Regulations 2017 provides as follows. Information security. The Commission shall put in place mechanisms to ensure data availability, accuracy, integrity, confidentiality, as set out in the first schedule. The court is aware of Raila Odinga and another versus IEBC 2017, where at paragraph 231, it provided and underscored the objective in the above laws. I will not belabor that. The technology envisaged by Section 44 of the Elections Act was intended to ensure an integrated and secure tallying and data transmission system which would allow computerized data entry tallying at constituencies, secure simultaneous transmission of individual polling stations, station-level data to the National Tallying Center, and the integration of the results handling system in a progressive election result announcement system. Two words that bear emphasis there is simultaneous and progressive election result system. Our submission in this regard is that the technology deployed by the IEBC for the conduct of the 2022 general elections completely failed the standards of a secure, transparent electronic voting system, and thereby yielded what has aptly been described by my colleagues as an unverifiable, inaccurate, and therefore invalid results. Our further submission in this regard is that the technology was so inherently corrupted, manipulated, and tainted that the results declared by Mr. Chebukati, the third respondent, cannot be in an objective case said to be representative of the true will of the Kenyan people, as we and as I will demonstrate in my further submissions. On the evidence, the components, principles that ought to have been met in order to meet the constitutional standard of a secure and transparent system are as follows. Confidentiality is the first one I propose to deal with. This requires that the information within the process, and I'm not talking about the public portal, talking about the back end, should have been accessed by only those legitimately authorized. And those authorized, in order for them to be accountable, are persons whom the entire commission, in its, as defined by my colleague Paul Mwangi, the entire commission ought to have been fully aware of, gazetted where necessary, and it would certainly help if they were also Kenyan nationals. Integrity is the information used should be accurate, complete, protected by various and protected from malicious modification, which includes alteration or obstruction, either by authorized or unauthorized persons. Availability. The information required must be available as and when required by those authorized to use or access it in compliance with the constitutional requirements and the Elections Act. Non-repudiation. An audit trail must be maintained on activities related to the information. An audit trail in this regard is, should the court so require, should a party so require, it must be readily available in the appropriate manner. Authenticity. The information itself must be proved to be genuine, and the source must also be proved to be genuine. I submit on behalf of the petitioners that on the security aspect, there was lack of security. The first instance of that demonstrates this is the operation and use of the IEBC and availability to, I repeat that again. The first is operation and use of IEBC election materials and equipment to identified unauthorized persons. And I'm referring in this regard to the now infamous Venezuelan nationals. I will elaborate on that in a few seconds. The second is the penetration by way of hacking and illegally granted access of the IEBC system by known and unknown persons. I distinguish between hacking and unauthorized grant of access. Hacking is where a person outside the system doesn't have the key, and I'm using the simple illustration, and so he accesses it through the roof, room through the roof or the back door, and he enters the system. The illegal grant of access is a situation where the codes, the credentials that are otherwise legitimate are granted to unknown persons. In the case of the now infamous Venezuelans, there is plenty of affidavit evidence on record, and I particularly refer to the affidavit of Martha Karua, the second petitioner, dated the 21st of August 2022, which contains or encloses the statements by the DCI, and of course the rebuttal by Chebukati on behalf of the IEBC. Your Ladyship, my Lords, I also refer to the affidavit of Juliana Cherera. I also refer to Annexure JC3, the National Police Service press statement dated 22nd of July 2022. Annexure JC4, press statement by IEBC Chairman dated 21st July 2022, stating that the 3 key personnel responsible for the deployment and management of elections infrastructure, and that the 3 Venezuelans were employees of Smartmatic International BV. I also refer to the annexure JC5, press release by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations dated 23rd of July 2022, detailing the crucial election materials irregularly and illegally found in the possession of 3 Venezuelan nationals. Their names: Jose Gregorio Camargo Castellanos, that is one name, one person; Joel Gustavo Rodriguez Garcia; Salvador Javier Sosa Suarez. Those were the persons named in the detailed Directorate of Criminal Investigations report. Hello, and your leaderships, I would like to emphasize that the Directorate of Criminal Investigations is the national institution charged with the responsibility of investigating crime. Crime in relation to the Penal Code, the Elections Act, all crime. And that evidence, the statement by the DCI regarding the Venezuelans, is not a matter that can be taken lightly and wished away by the chairman of the IEBC. I will deal then with the issue of the penetration or the compromise of the IEBC system. And I ask the court to look at the affidavit evidence of John Mark Gidongo, 2 affidavits or 3 affidavits; Benson Wesonga, an IT forensics expert; George Njoroge, IT forensics expert; and the forensic analysis of the DCI of a laptop confiscated from one Kip Ngosos at the National Tallying Center. I also asked the court to look at the affidavit of Justus Nyangaya, who is one of the commissioners. Which responded? 6th respondent. Thank you. I will summarize the affidavits. The evidence of John Makithongo, he has sworn 2 affidavits, one on the 21st of August 2022 and the other on the 28th of August 2022. In his affidavit, at paragraphs 2, 3, 8, 9, and 10, he talks about the illegal access into the system and manipulation of the presidential results, how it was orchestrated and implemented. At page 4, paragraph 12, he produces evidence of a video recording. Paragraph 8, page 8, paragraph 16, he witnesses how he saw this young person illegally and very easily access the IEBC system, where he was able to see information including that of his name and other accredited observers at the IEBC National Tallying Center, and pages 13 and 18 of certain screen grabs. In the affidavit dated 28th August 2022, page 2, paragraph 4, John Gidongo clarifies what was given to him in the first affidavit, but more importantly, at page 2, paragraph 6, he produces the actual logs that were used to show access to the system. I wish to make